Okay, I'm Jessie, this is Emma, and we're going to record a family yoga practice for you today. So we're going to be standing for the bulk of this practice. For much of this practice, we'll be sitting down towards the end. But we're going to go ahead and start with the feet a little more than hips distance apart. Toes are pointing straight forward right now. We're going to roll our shoulders back and turn our palms forward. Heart is lifted. The top of the head is lifted, so we're not lifting our chin and we're not tucking our chin. We've got our chin right in that neutral space, shoulders back, and the heart really opens here. And making sure that we're not dumping our bottoms backwards and our bellies forward. We're just going to tuck that belly a little bit and point that tailbone, it's a little bone at the end of your bottom, point that tailbone straight down. So we're just going to start here by breathing. And there's no rules. You can breathe through your nose or through your mouth, and you breathe at your pace, so you don't have to breathe at the pace that I'm at or Emma's at or whoever else is in the room with you. You're just going to breathe at your pace and try and make it that you're really connecting to your breath. So you feel that breath pull down into your lungs and your belly, and then you feel that breath slowly coming back out again. And you can have your eyes open or closed. I like to close my eyes because it lets me focus on inside instead of anything happening around me. But outside is okay too. If that's a more grounding and connecting way, if you feel more secure that way, that's what to do. So we're going to take one more breath here. And then on the next inhale, we're going to sweep our arms up towards the ceiling. We'll look up at our hands. We're going to interlace our fingers, but we're going to keep our pointer fingers pointing straight up towards the sky. Tonight, when you look out at the sky, you won't be able to see the moon. It's in its hidden phase. It's a shadow tonight. So we're going to point up as though we're looking for that moon. And then when we exhale, we're going to take our hands over to the left, pointing to the left, and we're making kind of that crescent moon shape here. We'll inhale, bring the hands up to center. Exhale, taking the hands over to the right. Inhale, we're coming back up to center. We'll release the hands, bringing them back down, palms open, heart open. Head is lifted, nice and tall. So we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up. And this time when we exhale, we're going to bend at the hips, bend at the knees, bring the hands out in front of you till your belly and your thighs meet up. And then we're going to drop the hands down, keeping the knees bent. Let the head come down. We'll inhale, press the palms into the floor and turn the heart forward. Exhale, take it back down. Inhale, heart's going to come forward. Exhale it back down. One more time, inhale, heart forward. Exhale it down. We're going to press into our feet, nice and firm. Feel your hips lift a little bit. We're going to keep the knees soft, keep pressing into the floor. Take the hands out wide, press all the way up. Hands will come together overhead, and exhale, hands back down. So we're going to come through that sequence again, but we're going to add on to it. So we'll inhale, take the hands up. Interlace the fingers and point towards the sky. Exhale, hands over to the left. See if you can peek under that arm up towards the sky, and then inhale up to the center. Exhale it over to the right, peeking under your arm, and inhale up to center. This time when we release the hands, we're going to take them forward, bring those hips back, bend the knees, reaching all the way down. And again, inhale, lift that heart up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, heart lifts once more. Exhale, forward fold. And now this time we're going to bring the hands right under the nose on the floor. We're going to bend that right knee. There you go. Left leg's going to get nice and long. Press into the floor. Take that left hand up towards the sky. We're getting a little twist here. Exhale, bring that hand back down. Straightening a little bit into that right leg. Now we're going to bend that left knee. Inhale, take that right hand up to the sky. Nice twist open here. Exhale, bring that hand down. We'll come back to center. You can lift the heart once. Really feel your tailbone sticking out straight behind you. Your back is nice and flat. And exhale it down. And we're going to take that twist once more. So bending that right knee. Inhale, left hand coming up towards the ceiling. So the shoulders are nice and lined up. Exhale, that hand comes back down. Inhale, bending into the left knee. Take the right hand up to the sky. Exhale it back down. This time, we're going to bring the hands to the hips or thighs. Press into the floor. Roll up nice and slow. Roll those shoulders back and the palms open. We're going to take the feet a little wider. Turn those toes out. Take the arms out nice and wide, and we're finding our 5-pointed star here. There we go. So we're stretching into the palms. We're making our palms really big, and we're pressing into the feet so that they're kind of pushing us off the floor. Feel your shoulder blades start to move towards one another on your back, and you're really bright and strong here. Make sure you're not tipping that tailbone back. That tailbone straight down and the belly is coming in. Breathing here. On your exhale, you're going to bring your hands to your hips and bend into your knees. This is chalice pose. So here, when we're in chalice pose, we want to make sure our knees and our feet are going the same direction. So if your toes are too far forward or too far out, make sure they're lining up with your knees so you can see your toes a little bit. Make sure that tailbone's still staying down. We don't want to make ourselves into ducks here. We're chalices, nice and strong. If your hands are on your hips, you can go ahead and take them out so that the backs of the hands are pressing against the knees, the shoulders roll back, and we can breathe here. On an inhale, we're going to sweep the hands up, bring them together like we had before, interlacing those fingers. Exhale, take it over to the left. Inhale it up to center. Exhale it to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale. Bring those hands all the way down. Turn the toes forward and forward fold. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift that heart again. Exhale, fold. And one more time, we'll inhale, take the heart forward. Exhale, forward fold. This time, we're going to walk the hands over to the right side. Take hold of your right ankle, to the left side. Take hold of your left ankle with your right hand. And then inhale, take that left hand up to the ceiling. Exhale it back down. Walk the hands through center and across to the other side. Take the right ankle into the left hand and sweep that right hand up to the ceiling. Little twist here. Exhale it back down. We're going to take the hands onto the thighs or the calves. No, take them onto the thighs. Bring the heels in. Roll it up. One vertebrae at a time. As you come up, straighten the arms and legs and find that 5-pointed star again. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead, bring the hands back to the hips. We're going to turn the toes forward and we're setting up for triangle pose. So we're just meeting triangle pose here. We're just learning what it is, and then we're going to do some fun with it. Okay, so I apologize, it's super hot in here. I feel like I'm waiting for the air to drift in from the window. Any rate, so here with the feet apart and the toes pointed forward, we're going to take those left toes and turn them to the left. As soon as you do this, you're going to start to feel your hips twist a little bit. You're going to drive that left hip back. So you're feeling that left hip push the right hip back. And you're going to reach that left hand out as far as you can to the left side. Once you've reached as far as you can, bring that left hand onto the calf or the ankle. And then, if you're comfortable there, roll the right shoulder back, take the right hand up towards the sky. So here in your triangle, we're just going to check in with your spaces. So feel your knees. Are they locked up or are they soft and bouncy? You want them soft so you're not hurting the joints. Check your right shoulder and your right hand. If you can't see your right hand because it's way back here, bring your hand forward and don't look up to see it. Look forward and see if you can see those right fingertips wiggling up above you. One more breath here. And on the exhale, we're going to bend that left knee, press into the floor and rise all the way back up and find that 5-pointed star. Nice full breath round here. And then we'll bring the hands back to the hips. Make sure toes are forward again. This time we're going to pivot the right toes to the right side. Right away we feel our hips start to twist. So we're going to use that energy to drive that right hip back towards the left. We're going to stretch that right hand out as far as we can and then bring that hand down to the shin or the floor or the ankle, wherever it feels good for you. Roll that left shoulder back so we're stacking shoulder over shoulder, and then take that left hand all the way up to the sky. Good job. Breathing here, making sure, again, if you're looking forward, you can see those wiggling fingers at the top. We don't want to lose them behind us. And you don't want that shoulder rolling forward. Really think of that shoulder rolling back, opening up your heart. And then exhale, bending that right knee, press into the floor, inhale it up, 5-pointed star. Toes are out, fingers are spread, heart is lifted. See if you can feel those shoulder blades pulling together behind you. Exhale, bend elbows and knees. Find a little bit of that chalice pose. Inhale, lengthen arms and legs. We're going to let the hands down and shake out the legs. All right, so we're going to set up for a partner triangle. So find your partner and come to stand back to back. I don't know, maybe I'll have you face the camera so everybody can see what we're doing, and I'll be behind you. So take the feet a little bit apart, and the toes are forward, wherever you're standing, toes facing forward. And we're going to be moving in opposition of one another. So everybody inhale and turn your right toes to the right side. That's turning those hips already. And we're going to start to move those hips back. We're going to take that right arm and extend it out nice and long, so we're getting nice and flat. And then bring that right hand onto the ankle or the shin. Once you're really stable here, you can roll that left shoulder back, take the left hand up, and try and find your partner. Take their hand, bend the elbow, and pull against one another, and feel the heart open up here. So if you're not getting it the first try, back up the video and sequence through again. And try and find your way to this partner triangle. When you're ready, softly release the other hand. Softly bend the right knee. Press into the floor. Rise up and turn the toes forward. And we'll take it to the other side. So we're going to pivot the left toes to the left. Draw that left hip back towards the right. Take that left hand out nice and long, reaching as far as you can, and then taking that left hand to the shin or ankle. Inhale, roll the right shoulder back and lift that right hand, reaching for your partner. Bend your elbow a little bit and pull against one another to open that shoulder. Breathing here. Take your time. You can mess it up and try again. And then softly releasing the hands, softly bending into that left knee. Rise up, toes forward. Bring the feet together. Turn around. Hands to heart center. Namaste. Namaste. All right. Oh, that felt good. So a couple more things we're going to come through here before we get down to the floor. So let's take those feet wide again, toes out, heels in, and we're going to exhale, bending into those knees. Inhale, find our chalice one last time. So here in this chalice, you can stay right here and breathe, or if you want to get fancy, you can try and lift one heel. Exhale, take that heel down. Inhale, take the other one up. Exhale, down. You can do it again each side, or you can try and take them both up. So a lot of energy here. Keep that tailbone down. Make sure your tail didn't start to stick out behind you. Press really hard into the floor so you feel a lot of energy rising up into your chalice. Palms are super wide open. Exhale, let everything down. All right. Bring those hands down, bend those knees. We're going to set up for our squat from here. So we're going to start with half squats. So, options for half squat. We're going to walk our hands over to the left, starting to bend into that left knee. Now, this may be as far down as you want your squat to go. But if you want to go a little deeper, you can bring those hips down, roll the heart forward, take the opposite toes up. Breathing here. And then pressing into the floor. Inhale, lift the hips, walk the hands across, find our half squat on the other side. So again, as high or low as you want to go. So a high squat is going to look more like a side lunge. And a low squat, you can go ahead and do the low squat. There you go. Both options, same practice. Still opening that inner thigh. Pressing into the floor, we're going to inhale up through center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we're going to lift the heart halfway. We're going to heel toe the feet a little closer, but not all the way in. Toes are going to be out. Heels are going to be in. We're going to bend into the knees and find our way down to a full squat. So if this is a new practice for you and you're not comfortable coming all the way down to a full squat, you should do a supported squat, which is the same thing, coming on to a support. So a stool, a bench, a pile of books, whatever feels good for your squat. Once you come down, some people's heels are down and some people's heels are lifted a little bit. You can roll a blanket to put under the heels. That feels really good. And we're going to push our elbows into our thighs to open that up. This is a great release for that low back, for that sciatic issue that most of us have been cultivating through all our sitting these last 2 months. And then we're going to real simply plop out of our squat. So coming down in whatever graceful or not so graceful manner you prefer. All right, I just want to back up, make sure we're in frame here. It's such a challenge to frame these pictures. The camera does not like to adjust. Okay, so we're going to come into our Janu Sirsasana. So if you have tweaky knees and you want to use a blanket for this one, you can. We're going to take the legs out in front of us a little bit apart. Go ahead and bring the left foot into the left thigh, and you can support that knee with a blanket, pillow, block, whatever you prefer. We're going to inhale, lift the heart, turning the heart towards those right toes. We're going to walk the hands forward, but we're not rounding. We're keeping the heart lifted, like we're trying to sit the heart on top of those toes. And just breathing. We'll inhale, walk the hands back. And then we're going to take that right hand on the inside of the right calf, and we'll sweep that left hand up and over and find a nice side body stretch. So maybe you're going to reach way over, but if it means you're rolling forward to reach over, let go of that. Keep that shoulder nice and high. Get that big full body stretch so that we're staying in the side body instead of coming into the back here. Not helping to open up that side if we're rolling down and curling our back instead. And we'll inhale, sweep it up. Go ahead, take both legs forward, shake them out a little bit. And we'll set up for the other side. So bringing that right foot into the groin. Again, pillow or blanket under the knee. If you're tweaky, I'm definitely tweaky this rain day. Got my knees going. All right, so we're turning the heart towards those left toes. We're walking the fingers forward as though we're going to place that heart right out there. Getting a little grounding for the heart, a little opening for Svadhisthana, our emotional center. One more breath round. And walking the hands back. We're going to take that left hand inside the left leg, sweep that right arm up and over. And again, don't round that shoulder forward. Roll that right right shoulder back so that we're really getting into that side body stretch. One more breath. And then inhale, sweep it up, let it go. Take both legs out in front, shake them out. Okay, and what do we say? We're gonna do butterfly turtles from here? Yeah, okay. All right, so we're gonna bring the soles of the feet together. This is Baddha Konasana, or butterfly, depending on your practice. So a couple options. First, I really like to lift the heart here, a little cat-cowy kind of action in the spine. And then exhale, take that heart forward. When it gets to that sweet spot that you're like, yeah, that's as far forward as my body goes, then allow the crown of the head to come down, really releasing all through the back. This is butterfly. If you want to stay here, you can. If you want to kind of get a little deeper, you can bring the arms under the legs and kind of come into a turtle pose here. That's okay. Nobody's head isn't supposed to be that long. Okay, so we're going to take another round or two of breath. Feel the breath moving up and down the length of the spine. See if you can talk yourself into softening anything that's still tense or tightening, resisting or holding here. Don't push into things, rather relax into things. And know that your practice is your practice and nobody else's. So any pose that isn't right for you, or any expression of a pose that isn't right, you shouldn't do it. You should find something that feels comfortable, renewing, challenging, refreshing, but never uncomfortable. And then on an exhale, starting to release out of the pose. Go ahead and send those legs long in front of you. Maybe work through those ankles and toes a little bit. We were on our feet for a good bit. And we're going to take one more forward fold. So sitting up nice and tall, you can bring your fingers right beside you into little tents here. Roll the shoulders back so the heart is lifted and open. And then exhale, taking that heart forward just to that sweet spot. When you're there, you can relax the head. And on an inhale, we'll roll up. I realize that you can probably hear the radio in the background. My husband's outside with the radio on, so I apologize. We're going to be coming into, I asked Emma what she wanted to do for our final resting pose, and she chose fish. So we're going to come into supported fish. I'm going to let her demonstrate with a blanket. If you have any kind of blanket, just going to roll it, folded it up into a square, and then roll it into this shape. I'm going to have you, which way do I want to have you? Take your feet that way. Over that way. Take your feet that way a little bit and scoop. There you go. Scoot back further. Back further towards me. Yeah, sit up first. Okay. Come back a little further. Oh, that's too far. Okay, right there, right there, right there. Go ahead. Roll back. And you can take your arms out nice and wide. You feel okay there? Mm-hmm. All right. So this is a supported fish. You want it right under that line, under the chest. And we're going to go ahead and demonstrate how to do it with a bolster. Same exact practice. You can stay where you are. I'm going to do the bolster. Same exact practice. So just coming to sit in front of a bolster, rolling over the top. You can bring your arms to goalposts or to wide arms. What you don't want is anything that's really suspended and hanging. So if you come over a bolster and you're like, wow, my shoulders are just hanging there, maybe a blanket is enough for you, or maybe you need to reposition the hands. And obviously, we're cramming into a little space here, so I just kind of have to laugh at the spacing issue here in the house and my really bad videography skills and setups, but it's only yoga, so it's all good.
You're not that bad.
It's all good. So we're gonna just start to let everything drop here, just letting the ankles be heavy, the legs soften, hips are really weighting down and releasing. You can let the ankles roll out so the toes are kind of pointed out, and you can take the feet wide or you can keep them close together. It's up to you. Allow the shoulders to drop back. Belly is soft and the breath is easy. Let the breath be natural here. Take a moment to swallow. Feel the jaw and the throat relax. Allow the skin across the bridge of the nose and the forehead to release. And the eyes are softly floating. You can stay here resting as long as you like for your practice. Or if you feel as though you want to wrap things up for now, you can start to lengthen your inhales and exhales. Start to move gently in your fingers and toes, circling a little bit into your wrists and ankles. Maybe bending the knees and bringing the feet onto the floor. And softly moving the knees side to side, not all the way over, just a little bit of release for the low back. And when you're ready, let those knees guide you from on your back to on your side. And you can take a moment on your side, either with your bolster or blanket, or you can move them out of the way if you just want to lay on the floor for a moment or two. And then as you're ready, starting to press your way up and come to find whatever is a comfortable seat for you today. And you can take a moment here, just resting the hands on the thighs, letting the eyes be closed or soft. Letting the heart be lifted, the crown of the head be lifted. And as you settle into this space, you can bring one hand onto your heart center and the other hand on top. Feeling the heart beat. The chest rise and fall, connecting to the movement of your breath, the sound of your breath, and the sensation of your breath. come to bring the hands palm to palm and fingertip to fingertip right in front of the heart center. I thank you for joining us with your practice today. We had a lot of fun doing this together, and I hope that you have a beautiful holiday weekend, that you use this phase of the lunar cycle, this new moon, to regroup, maybe create a new plan or pathway as we move forward. Summer's starting to sort of kick off. I know we still have technically a month, but the season, the celebratory season, is starting to take off. So wish you all well and hope to see you soon. Namaste.